I'm Lorik Krasniqi, and this is my video essay for guerrilla filmmaking. So one of the problems that arose while making the first film, which was create a film using no moving images that asks the question, what is home? So the problem that arose was that I didn't know how to use the editing software Final Cut Pro like a lot. I didn't know how to use it properly. So when I was editing my pictures for the first film, I had so many pictures and I wanted them all to be the same length, and I couldn't go through them one by one and make them the same length because that would have taken a very long time. So what I did was I looked at editing tutorials online and found out how to do it, so that next time if I have the same problem, I can use the same solution. So I learn from seeing other people doing, like giving instructions. So I can't read off a piece of paper, it has to be something visual. Another problem that arose while making one of the films is that is finding someone that would actually, an actor or someone to be in the film. And this was for the film that had to be shot on a mobile phone, which is about imperfection or perfection. A lot of people suggested that I ask friends from the university to help us out, but a lot of students were still doing their own work, they were making their own films, they were busy with their own stuff, so we had to ask people from outside the university, and everyone has obviously their own things to do during the day, but we managed to find someone, and like that was the only problem. It took us a bit of time to find someone that would actually be in the film, but we got there in the end. We asked, because I worked on this film with Ahmed Ishak, and he's the one that actually found the actress, but we both looked, and in the end we found one. There wasn't a problem using like a mobile phone, because I actually used my own phone, the iPhone 7 Plus, which is, the camera is like one of the best out there for smartphones, so it was great to work with. For my final film, which was the third film of all 5 options, was make an experimental animated to found footage film that takes the form of a letter to a loved one. And the problem that arose for that was that getting the footage from my PlayStation 4 onto my Mac, and I originally, because on the PlayStation what you can do is you can actually record like what you are playing, but the problem was actually downloading it and getting it to my Mac. So what I did was I downloaded an application on my Mac which lets you play your PlayStation on it, and whilst I was playing the game on the Mac, I got to the scenes that I needed for the film, and I used QuickTime Player to actually record the screen on the Mac, and then that made it so much easier to actually download, to actually get the footage of the PlayStation, which was very helpful. So that was the problem that arose for that film there. So what inspired me to keep going after the problems arose was the film that I watched called 5 Broken Cameras by Emad Bernat and Guy Davidi. Emad films in his country, and the cameras are destroyed from the first to the last, and after each camera is destroyed, he just keeps going. Like he's in a very dangerous area, and some of his cameras were actually destroyed by gas canisters and even shot at with bullets, and he just kept on going. So I think it just shows that you can make, like, no matter what happens, you can just carry on making like a film. Like that's why I think guerrilla filmmaking is amazing. So after all the films were finished and uploaded to YouTube, I showed my friends and family, I shared it a little bit on social media, and one of the most common responses was that the films looked quite well, even though there were some quite restrictive rules. And my little brother actually really enjoyed the film, the animated film that I made about GTA, where I compared him and myself to the 2 main characters, Trevor and Michael, because he really enjoys playing the game and I really enjoy playing the game. So he thought it was a good comparison because they're almost like brothers, they fight, but they do also like each other a lot. So I thought it was a good idea to share it with everyone else and see what I'm doing. I wanted to show them what guerrilla filmmaking was. So the reason why I chose to make my first film about home is because family is everything to me. I mean, it was the pictures I got were from my older brother's engagement. I had some ideas of other ways to make this film, other pictures to use, but I knew this date was coming, and I think that with engagement and marriage, it's the start of a family, and I feel comfortable where my family is, like wherever my family is, and my older brother, he's only making my family bigger, so that's where it's making me feel more comfortable around more people, and that's what home is to me. What inspired me to make this film was the film Año Uña, and that is because the whole film was made using pictures, and the reason why I really liked it is that it had a story, it flowed so well that even when after the film was finished, I thought the film was actually with moving images. Like the pictures fit in so well with the story that there were certain scenes that I could have sworn that it was moving and it wasn't actual pictures. And one scene in particular was when Diego goes to visit Molly in America without letting his family know. So after the film was finished, I could picture him traveling to America just through the pictures that the director used in the film. This inspired me to do something similar, so I had loads of pictures throughout the whole day from when we left my house until we left the restaurant at the end of the day where we celebrated the engagement. So there were times where pictures would just jump, but I did also have pictures of the same moment, like lots of pictures of the same moment, and when they were put together it looked like a moving image. And that's what happens sometimes with Año Uña, which is probably the reason why I can picture it as a moving film with like moving images and not just still images. So that's what inspired me to make this film. So you can see in my eyes, I could see the journey from going from my house to the restaurant, having fun there, dancing, eating, drinking, and at the end, just a picture of me and my family, like about to leave. And I think that's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show the journey of this family getting together and growing and becoming what I call home. I made my Imperfection film the way I did because I wanted to show how technology and social media can have an effect on what people think is imperfection or perfection in beauty. So during the film, the protagonist, she's getting ready to go on a night out, she's putting on makeup, and then she pulls out her phone to change the music and to just look at what's going on in her social life through her phone. So she looked at her phone to see what was happening. But normally when a girl would put on makeup, she wouldn't look on her phone, she would just get ready and get out. But now that it's more accepted and a lot of people are connected through social media, she's being affected to look at her, she's being almost brainwashed to look online at how women are portrayed. So she's almost being told what to look like and what perfection or perfection is. And some people think makeup is perfection. Some people think too much of it is imperfection, but I think who's to judge what each person feels? So that's why I made that film. The reason why I made the film for Task 3, the animated one, which I made about Grand Theft Auto 5, is because the game makes me feel free and makes me feel like I can do stuff that I can't do in real life. I mean, obviously I won't just go around and punch people in the face, but it just makes me feel more, because I like video games. I like feeling free, and that's what the Grand Theft Auto 5 makes me feel. And I wanted to show the relationship between two of the main characters, because their relationship always fascinated me, because they hate each other but they also love each other. And I think that's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show the relationship between my brother and I. So I have learned from this module that you don't need the best equipment to create a film. For some films, you don't need any equipment, you just need access to them. So when I tell my friends and family the rules of the films which I had to make, they tell me that I'm very restricted. But I think I'm more free with these rules, because if you were to tell me just go out there and make a film, you have like endless, you have an infinite amount of possibilities, and narrowing that down from infinite to one within the time period that I had, it would be chaos. There'd be too many ideas to focus just on one. So I don't feel restricted at all with these rules. I think it makes me work hard and just makes me want to go out there and make films. This module has made me realize that you can make films on a very low budget or no budget at all. So some films, such as Trash Humpers, they look like they have been made with absolutely no money involved. And even though this film visually looks like it was made by a 5-year-old, it still has a deeper meaning to it. So it just shows that even if visually it doesn't look good, you can create something out of whatever you have. It doesn't mean, even if you don't own any equipment yourself, you can borrow from someone, you can rent something out, just anything with very low budget, you can create a film. So I have learned that if you want to make a film, you get up and make one. You don't find any excuses. Like, even if you don't have the right equipment or money, you can create a film, because I think that's what guerrilla filmmaking is about. It's about making a film out of what you have, and that's what I really enjoyed about this module, and would definitely recommend to anyone thinking about taking it.